From one of their heroes, Trent Alexander-Arnold is with Kelly Summers.
Well, Trent, congratulations, you're into the next round. What a game. That feels like a big win for Liverpool.
Yeah, huge. Got a lot of players missing today. Lads on internationals, obviously. Verge missing from the squad as well, and a lot of injuries as well. So we came here with one objective, which is to win and get into the half in the next round, and we've done that. We dug deep, 2 late goals. We had chances, and I think we changed things around at half time internally, and we came out and played football, created our chances, and the changes that we did make and the change in system and where players were playing really made an impact for us.
What did the manager say at the break? Because as you've said, that tactical tweak and the whole way you applied yourselves in the second half made a real difference.
Oh, I think there was times in the first half we were a little bit naive. We got caught playing off in the back, and they've had their chances from our mistakes and our, maybe a sloppy pass here and there. They're a high pressing team, and they're bound to do that. So we stuck with the way that we want to play. We have an identity. We want to play football and use players' strengths. And with the front line that we had, obviously Harvey wanted to get him on the ball, and then we got Darwin and Lucho as well with speed, so playing the balls in behind and giving them what they wanted as well. So we mixed it up. Darwin went a little bit wider, and Cody went in the centre, and I think that really made a difference. We were able to use Darwin's speed one-on-one with their full-back, and we created a lot for us in the second half.
2 goals, none for you, but your ball in created the opener. You couldn't have hit that much better, could you?
No, them ones, I think, in Stringer, you just want to hit an area. You want to make it as difficult as possible, and that's the idea. That's your aim for is to make it as hard as possible for them to clear the ball, and knowing that a flick from one of our players, one of their players, could potentially go in, and we've hit the woodwork a couple of times as well in the game. So we had our chances, and near the end of the game we put them away and won the game.
Well done today, Trent.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, it leads us in nicely, really, to the opening goal of the game. Came from that Trent Alexander-Arnold free kick, and we know he can deliver, and he does it so frequently.
Well, he's been a game changer so often this season, well, so often in his career, but more so this season because he's so far higher up the pitch or more often. And set plays is another string to his bow. I mean, there's very few weaknesses. I can't think of something he can't do in terms of his crossing and his passing ability.
What should Arsenal do better defensively there, Mark?
Well, I'm just wondering about Gabriel.
Apart from head it the other way.
Well, he just seems to sort of collapse, yeah. The keeper can't get to it. Ramsdale is late to move off. And Kivior there, I feel he should do a whole lot better. Of course, he doesn't do it deliberately, Gary.
I'm not sure it can happen. I'm not sure it can be that critical of a ball whipped in with such pace.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
I agree the quality is there, but there's always something you can do to improve that.
If the keeper stays on his line, he's got more chance, yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of brilliant stuff from Trent Alexander-Arnold as well, and sometimes, a couple of times where he can be exposed defensively, but the rewards probably are worth that.
I think that this side of Trent's game is up there with anyone in the Premier League in terms of midfielders, never mind fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
He is brilliant at seeing passes. He can hit long ones, short ones, curved ones. He's got all these different attributes. And defensively, I mean, look, he's in defensive area, even from these deep positions with his left foot. That's incredible, by the way.
Wonderful talent, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just think it's about finding the right balance, whether it's for Liverpool or England, to give him the best position to play in to make an impact on games, Mark.
Well, for England now, he gets picked as a midfielder.
Yeah.
He doesn't get picked as a defender anymore.
I've said forever he's a midfield player. I've said it forever.
But he is a wonderful talent.
This is where he can be exposed.
Yeah, this is the weakness. There he gets set up. I mean, okay, Martinelli, excellent. And by the way, there's the man of the match again there, Canate coming across to deal with it. But yeah, and it happened again here as well.
Looks like he's limping there, let's be honest.
Yeah, but it's just, I think he just knocks it out. Puts it for his legs there.
Well, I've just got to say as well, let's give Klopp some credit. He's brought Bradley on to play at right back, so Trent can then be freed up to play this type of pass late in the game when you want to get out and give your team a breather. I think that's a 2-0. But He's just got this wonderful bravery and technical ability and freedom is the word.
Let me ask you something, because people do look for weaknesses, particularly I would say in this country where you focus on weaknesses rather than people's strengths. Do we sometimes look for any kind of defensive mistake from Trent and then exaggerate it?
Well,
maybe a little bit.
We do, but I think it's time to take him out of there. Certainly from an international point of view. Play him in the midfield. That's where he wants to be. As a young kid, he played there. He's really a Gerrard, isn't he, now? You wouldn't have played a Gerrard at right back too often, but I think he's found himself at right back. The right back game has evolved now and it's different. But ultimately, I think he has to play in the midfield.
Yeah, indeed. And you're not going to be exposed in terms defensively, really, in midfield.
Well, I think for England, especially not, because you've got one of the best holding midfield players in Europe alongside you in Declan Rice. You've got Kyle Walker normally, or Reece James, two of the best right backs in our division. So he's got people and Stones behind. But also he's got players ahead of him who he's going to be spending.
Welcome back. Proper cup tie at the Emirates. A little bit of end-to-end, more maybe at the Liverpool defensive end. I'm happy to report that both crossbars are still in full working order, having been rigorously tested in a pulsating opening 45 minutes. I think we'll just crack straight into it. Breakneck opening 10 minutes. Arsenal creating chances, having pinched the ball once or twice high up the pitch off Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly the type of start that Arsenal needed. High energy, high tempo, getting after Liverpool. Here's Saka anticipating that touch from Gomez onto his favourite right foot. Falls to Havertz. Would have loved to have seen him just pass that ball into the path of Saka. I think Saka scores off his right side. Then, of course, arrives to Odegaard. Doesn't do an awful lot wrong there. Great contact, underside of the crossbar, but exactly the type of start that Arsenal wanted. Rice here. This is unlike McAllister, having one touch too many. Don't get at this level. Give credit to Rice. But again, Havertz here for me. He's got to take this first time. As soon as he has the touch, he gives an opportunity for those Liverpool defenders to get round him, and the chance is gone. But again, Arsenal pretty much persevered with this. Again, great anticipation, nicking the ball off Trent Alexander-Arnold, and just no conviction here. Kai Havertz surprised me a little bit, because I spoke about the last month or so. He's found a little bit of confidence, a couple of goals, but in that situation, it looks as if almost the confidence was like, leaving his body, like they almost just happy to hit the target rather than have real confidence to find the corner of the net. But a lot of good from an Arsenal point of view in that first half.
And plenty in that package on its own, but yet there are further Arsenal chances. So again, we're drawn back to the argument pre-game of not taking their opportunities.
Yeah, I think Gary touched on the killer instinct in commentary, which we talked about before the game. Nelson should do a lot better here. It's a great opportunity. This is a great ball in, little flick on. That should be a goal from Havertz. He's had 3 or 4 unbelievable chances in the game and just not been, as Kenny quite rightly points out, not convincing enough. Arteta will be delighted though with the display. I think they bounced back really well. Again, brilliant football. Saka doing really well, nice and smart and sharp. Odegaard looking more like himself. But again, it's just that touch too many, that pass too many. They've had plenty of opportunities. I've been really disappointed with Liverpool, but take nothing away from Arsenal. Their attitude, their invention, again, great chance for Havertz. He's had at least 3 or 4 where you'd expect a Haaland, a Salah to score. Yeah, I've been disappointed with Liverpool. They look flat, no balance in midfield, nothing going forward really. And they've been hanging on first half and they're fortunate to be 0-0.
And yet it was almost on the stroke of half-time where they could have been going in with the lead goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, with that technique from distance.
Yeah, this gave me a bit of encouragement. Look at Gakpo here, just leaves Jorginho for dead. That's a weakness in the Arsenal midfield. And this is where I've always enjoyed seeing Trent Alexander play. Right back, arriving late on that inside right channel. We know the quality that he has, a beautiful strike, kind of cuts across it almost, doesn't he? That's like a control finish, but brilliant technique. Unfortunate to see it hit off the crossbar. But yeah, that's been about it from a Liverpool point of view. It hasn't been a huge amount. I thought Núñez has looked sharp in terms of his running power in behind that inside right channel. Balls from Trent Alexander potentially over the top, but there hasn't been much more.
No, they'll need to do better second 45. What in particular could you point to that Jurgen Klopp might be saying? Is it the energy? Arsenal have kind of bossed that. They seem more at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a physical difference in the midfield race, and Odegaard certainly just playing with more energy. McAllister, for me, he's not a 6, and he's lost the ball, in a couple of areas that could have cost him. You've got to get to the pace of the game better. Elliott's been on the periphery of it. Maybe he needs to come inside and somebody else come into the wider area. He's got Jota. Who's an option, get him on, and then you can sort of rejig the midfield. But, from through the thirds have not been good enough, and they've been relying on individual quality more than, a team possession game.
OK, so Arsenal winning the 0-0 draw at half-time at the Emirates. Back for the second half live when we come back. Arsenal and Liverpool delicately poised after a breakneck and entertaining opening 45 minutes in North London at the Emirates. All signs pointing towards an Arsenal win on the balance of play over the opening 45 minutes. But with this kind of tie, you just never know. Interesting to learn that Liverpool have scored in 19 of the last 21 meetings against Arsenal.
Well, they need to play a lot better if they're going to do it today. Arsenal, for me, have been dominant. I think their attitude's been great. You know, coming into the game under a lot of scrutiny and playing against a big opponent, I think the football from tee to green has been really good. The only thing's missing is the goal, which is the most important thing. And you always worry that when you're coming up against opposition like Liverpool, if you don't put them away, there might be a sting in the tail. And Liverpool have to raise their game. They have to be better. The quality's not been good enough, and they've created very, very little so far, Connor. So I think Klopp will be giving them a bit of a going over at half-time and expecting a reaction.
Interesting to see how they respond in the second half if they do. Liverpool, and from an Arsenal point of view, I think they have got a little bit of bounce, which is to their credit given where they've been over the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is, I won't say surprising, but admirable.
Yeah, it is. Showed a little bit of character, a kind of spirit, which is what you want to see. Odegaard in particular as well looked like a captain today, which is what we want to see. Yeah, just got to keep more of the same for me. I think they got better options on the bench. I still worry Jorginho in centre midfield. If I was going to be really brave and cavalier and go and really grab this game by the scruff of the neck, I'd be tempted to take Jorginho off, drop Havertz into midfield, and Nketiah, that kind of more of a natural finisher higher up the pitch. Yeah. There's an element of risk to that, but not too much for a risk for me because Jorginho's the one maybe would be sacrificed. But that's the way forward for me, to go grab this game by the scruff of the neck and go.
Because I was going to say, are we kind of guilty of praising Arsenal for underachieving?
They may be missing a lot of those opportunities because they really should have taken the lead early on, shouldn't they?
Well, I hope they don't do, Gary, but it only takes one, doesn't it? One chance. We just saw Liverpool hit the bar. But no, Arsenal really good, fantastic approach play, pressing really well, and lots of opportunities. And in front of goal, it's been prevalent before about missing chances, and we're missing them again today. So hopefully one will come their way and they'll put it away. But in the first half, no, not at the moment.
Yeah, it was pretty one-sided.
Liverpool have been disappointing. I think they've struggled with the intensity of Arsenal, the quality, everything about Arsenal's been sharp and at it. Some of the Liverpool players have struggled with that. I think Jurgen will be really disappointed. I think he'll probably make 1 or 2 changes. I would imagine we might see Gravenberch come in the middle of the park for some legs and some energy and tenacity. To be fair to McAllister, he hasn't played for over a month, and you can tell a little bit. So, they need to pick up and quick because they're lucky to still be in the game.
Yeah, it started very early, didn't it, with a fantastic ball from Aaron Ramsdale to Nelson.
It would have been fantastic for him, wouldn't it? Because, you know, we've been out of the side, we talked about him, and look about this. I mean, it's like Edison, isn't it? The way rapier-like ball that he plays. And Nelson, I think he takes that extra touch there isn't necessary for him. I think he could have lifted that over Alisson as he came out. But I mean, look at this confidence. He's trying to target.
It's a bigger gap though, Martin, isn't it? Between
it is, but the pace he shows. Yeah. You know, Trent there has left that space, but I just think he just takes too long, and it's really been.
I agree.
The theme of the first half of not taking that opportunity, taking too long in front of goal, not being clinical enough.
The Arsenal press has been particularly useful for them. It's worked really well.
Well, they're always good at it, but it's considering they've made a couple of changes with Jorginho coming in and Reece Nelson as well. It's working really well, and Havertz leading that press. They're all at it. They've obviously talked about not letting Liverpool gain any confidence and dominance in the game. I mean, Declan Rice's been superb in the middle of the pitch as well. But this is early in the game. You could see the intent. And of course, when you win the ball back, have you got that quality? Have you got that bit of finesse in the final third to get you that goal you need? And Martin was right. They did keep taking their time. Maybe the odd touch, the final pass, Martin.
It's kind of like when you're pressing, you're aggressive, and you need to show that same aggressivity when you shoot. You know, you've got to really go for it. That was a kind of a nice shot from Havertz, who really hasn't let go yet. I think he just takes a little bit too. But the pressing is absolutely fantastic, outstanding. The approach play been magnificent from us. This should be a goal. You know, we've got to get over that. And then again, look, it's another opportunity. But this was 4 opportunities all at once there, and a really good start from Arsenal.
We talked about Kai Havertz playing up front before the start of the game. Well, he's had his opportunities, but I mean, he doesn't look like a natural number 9, that's for sure.
It's tricky. They played him in midfield, they played him up front. I think he's actually linked well, and he's an intelligent player, but just short of confidence really. And this is Declan Rice again, winning it, pinching it. They've done this part of the game. You can't let Liverpool play. But here, why is he not coming onto that and hitting it? It's all very pedestrian and a little bit slow. And if he changes gear and he just changes his approach slightly, look, I think he should be coming on that to hit it.
One touch, yeah. I mean, one touch, because you know these are good quality defenders. They're going to get back in and recover. But he is a threat in the air on set places as well. In fact, Arsenal have looked a threat on set plays. Could do better, but just put off a little bit by, I think it's Kwanzaa there, just getting enough on him to not give him the control. And then this is the last chance where they win it high. Brilliant from Reece Nelson. Not the best ball from Odegaard, but he takes his touch, Martin, isn't it?
Well, there's two touches. It's 2 touches and he takes it wide there. And he's got to be getting out of his feet. And I think it's just a change of attitude from him. They need to get round him because Arsenal are creating the chances. Yeah. And certainly he definitely needs to be able to take them better than he is.
Probably the 2 most decisive shots came from defenders. The first one was Ben White for Arsenal.
Well, yeah, and probably the one we didn't expect, because we talked about the fullbacks contributing a bit more, didn't we, in the pre-match? And I think Alisson does well, considering when it does fall to Ben White, we can see in our screen now, he gets hold of it really nicely and he just adjusts his feet there, Alisson.
Yeah, the speed of that shot, I think almost catches him out, but he gets, top goalkeeper that he is, he gets an arm, that right hand across.
Beautiful strike.
It almost feels like you have to hit an absolute perfect strike to beat Alisson at times.
Yeah,
he's that good. When you're on the edge or outside the box, I mean.
He's a wonderful goalkeeper,
he is,
isn't he? Then at the other end, Trent Alexander struck the crossbar.
Been Liverpool's best player.
Yeah.
His passing, he's the one who
often is.
He is, yeah, but just beautiful with his passing, the composure. And this is the impact. This is the impact he has now in games more. Nearly every game you watch Liverpool play,
Ramsdale might got a finger to
this
or not.
I'm wondering, does he get a finger to this?
I think, no, I'm not sure.
I'm not
well,
sure.
We'll see.
But I was just saying, nearly every game he plays now, Trent, he's impacting the game positively and productively.
This is the worry, though, for Arsenal, isn't it? That with Liverpool not really at their best, not really creating anything, just go down the other end and score a winning goal.
Let's hope so.
Well, the one thing that will encourage Liverpool is the half-time scoreline.
Absolutely. Well, we've all played in games. I mean, we talked about the final we played. Yeah. We should have been out of sight when we beat you in the final in 2001. Nobody cares in the FA Cup how well you play, Gary.
I'm not sure Martin agrees with you.
No, Klopp needed half-time more than Arteta, but Arteta just has to restore the belief, keep going, you're going to get that opportunity when it comes, you've got to take it. Whether he does that from the bench, he can do it with Nketiah, of course, but we'll see.
Imagine Arteta will be saying more of the same, but what will Klopp be saying to turn things around and change the way Liverpool...
I think he wants more from Núñez. I think he's been absolutely locked up completely.
Yeah, but if you're a striker and your team's on the defensive and you can't get out and you're being out-pressed, then it's difficult, isn't it?
I think the key is decision-making of when to play out and when not to, but if you do play out, protect the ball better.
Yeah,
you can't give the ball